Premier Phumulo Masualle, Premier of the Eastern Cape Province, the Minister of Environmental Affairs, Ms. Edna Molewa, Minister in the Presidency responsible for planning, monitoring and evaluation, Mr. Jeff Hadebe, Minister for Public Enterprises, Ms. Lynn Brown, ministers and deputy ministers who are present here in your numbers, members of the Executive Council within the Eastern Cape Province, Mandela Metro Mayor, the Executive Mayor, Dr. Danny Jordan, we are lawyer, Kweti. Senior government officials and senior executives from our state-owned companies and statutory councils, business leaders, the captains of industry who are here with us, representatives of civil society, labor and academia, umzwonke waseBhayi. IBhayi elimbathwa abalaziyo. Ewe. Molweni. Niyaphila phofu? Hayi siyabulela. Siyanibona uba niyaphila. Sengathi nisela iBhayi siyaziyo. Ewe. Director of the program, it is always a great pleasure for me to visit the Nelson Mandela Metro. Port Elizabeth is the gateway to the Eastern Cape. This beautiful, friendly city holds great potential in its ability to contribute to the growth of the South African economy. Today, I'm here to witness firsthand the progress that has been made within the port of Port Elizabeth with regards to the implementation of the first phase of Operation Phakisa, the ocean's economy. Operation Phakisa is a fast result delivery program that we launched in July 2014 to help us implement the National Development Plan, with the ultimate goal of boosting economic growth and create jobs. The National Development Plan is the country's socio-economic development blueprint, which enjoins us to create a better life for all citizens in an inclusive society. It provides the framework in which government, organized business, labor, and citizens can work together to accelerate economic growth and resolve the triple challenge of unemployment, poverty, and inequality. Operation Phakisa is one of the mechanisms we have put in place to implement the National Development Plan to come alive. In other words, as we talk about National Development Plan, some people may say, what is it? What does it do? This makes it to become alive. You can see it, you can talk about it. NgoJuly 2014, sethula uhlelo olubizwa ngokuthi Operation Phakisa, okusho ukuthi khawuleza ngesixhosa, ukuze sisheshise ukwethulwa kwezinhlelo zikahulumeni zokuthuthukisa noma zokuphuhlisa umnotho nokwakha imisebenzi edingekayo. Siyazi kuyadingeka. Kuningi osokwenziwe ilolu hlelo, ikakhulukazi ekuthuthukiseni umnotho osolwandle. Ebesingawunakile yonke leminyaka, singazi uba sihlezi nomnotho omninzi apho lwandle. Ngoku sibhekene nawo ukukhulisa umnotho wakowethu ukuthi ukhule more. Namhlanje sizokwethula ukuthi ikuphi osekwenziwe emazibukweni ezwe lakithi ukuthuthukisa umnotho. Amazibuko ke amahaba emlanjeni lapho kuwelwa khona kuthiwa lizibuko, nalapha ke ulwandle kungenwa khona kuthiwa lizibuko ngesizulu. Indeed, we have made some strides in the implementation of Operation Phakisa. This is as a result of the collective effort of government, business, labor, academia, and civil society. The Oceans Economy Program under Operation Phakisa focuses on the following: marine transport and manufacturing led by the Department of Transport, offshore oil and gas led by the Department of Mineral Resources, agriculture led by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries, marine protection services and ocean governance led by the Department of Environmental Affairs, small harbor development led by the Department of Public Works, and coastal and marine tourism led by the Department of Tourism. The Department of Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation undertakes overall coordination. I think it is important for us to just take note that when government works together, we can make quicker progress when we don't feel like owning departments because they are working for one government, that it is important that we coordinate, we work together, we can make faster progress. You'll recall that when we established the PICC, the Presidential Infrastructure Coordination Commission, only then did we make a visible progress in the establishing and refurbishing of the infrastructure in the country. For many years, because we were working in silos, there was no visible progress. This is a second example that when we work together, we can make good progress, particularly not just the department only, but with the private sector, with labor and civil society. I provided an update on the implementation of Operation Phakisa in August 2015. Today, I again meet the terms of my undertaking in 2014 to regularly update the public on how the program are progressing. Indeed, a lot has been done in implementing Operation Phakisa. I have great pleasure to announce that government has unlocked investments amounting to about 17 billion rand in the ocean economy, thanks to Operation Phakisa. And since the inception of Operation Phakisa, ocean's economy, over 4,500 jobs have been created in the various sectors. The program has added great impetus in the development of infrastructure, and today I will update you on the development of ports infrastructure. We want our ports to be more efficient and have the necessary infrastructure to service the maritime industry and attract investment. I'm happy to inform you that over 7 billion rand had been allocated by Transnet National Ports Authority to improve ports. Earlier this morning, we viewed the refurbished and reconstructed slipway and lead in jetties within the Port Elizabeth port. The refurbished slipway will be able to accommodate more vessels. In fact, 12 vessels can now be accommodated for hull inspection and maintenance as compared to the current two. I've today also unveiled a plaque at the newly acquired boat hoist here in the Port Elizabeth port. This is only the second of its kind in the country. Second of its kind in the country. This boat This boat hoist has a 90-ton capacity and forms part of the construction of a new slipway. This will ensure that the industry is assisted more efficiently than in the past. On my inspection visit to some of the sites today, I was also heartened by the notable progress and the envisaged projects. Here, I am referring to the relocation of the manganese terminal here in the port of the nearby port of Ngogha at Ngogha, which is currently accommodating reed repair. Of the 9 tugboats currently being built by South African shipyards for Transnet National Ports Authority in the port of Durban, 2 are destined for the Port Elizabeth port. I was happy to see one of these boats, namely Mvezo, after the birthplace of our beloved Matiba. It sounds so local, so rare, so original. Incidentally, 2 bulk carriers are now registered on the South African Ships Register and will be using the port of Port Elizabeth as the home port, providing opportunities for South African crew and cadets. A further registered vessel will be using Cape Town as its home port. This is great progress indeed. Siyaqhuba simanga. Work has also continued to refurbish the Port of Durban. The Durban Dry Dock caisson, which allows water to be pumped out of the dock and for work on vessels to occur in the dry, was installed and floated in January this year. The dry dock is now open for business. This development represents an investment of 43 million rand. In the port of Saldanha Bay, which will be established as an oil and gas hub, work has already commenced on the offshore supply base. This is one of the 3 projects making up the 9.2 billion rand public-private partnership investment over a 5-year period. This is government and business working together to grow the economy, which is good for our country. We have also made progress in the boat building sector. An amount of 353 million rand has already been committed in the ports of Durban and Cape Town for boat building infrastructure, creating approximately 355 direct jobs. Investments in boat building and a fuel storage facility in the port of Cape Town, amounting to approximately 3.6 billion rand, have been committed. Siyaqhuba azidlali. Ongayiboni lonto kwakhe lokho. Operation Phakisa will also be used to develop rural economies. This we shall do through small harbour development, coastal and marine tourism, and aquaculture, which is the fish industry. An amount of 80 million rand has been allocated for the rehabilitation and maintenance of proclaimed fishing harbours in Hans Bay, Saldanha Bay, Stress Bay, Gordons Bay, and Lambert's Bay in the Western Cape. The establishment of 3 new harbours in Northern Cape, Eastern Cape, and KwaZulu-Natal will also provide opportunities for local and rural economic development. In the aquaculture sector, more than 400 million rand worth of investments, both from the private sector and government, have been committed across 10 aquaculture farms in the Eastern Cape, KwaZulu-Natal, Western Cape, and Northern Cape. We are already seeing good results. This year, Zuma Aquaculture Cooperative in Hamburg sold its first harvest of dusky hob to the Cape Town fish market at the V&A waterfront in Cape Town. A total of 12 new aquaculture projects, which also includes inland provinces such as Mpumalanga and Gauteng, have also been selected. An additional 17 new applications are being processed. This will further increase the production and job opportunities. Compatriots, we have learned some good lessons during this Operation Phakisa Oceans Economy implementation, where government has made investments, where government has made interventions, whether within the policy space or facilitating authorizations and approvals, or providing some incentives, it has unlocked private sector investment. We will continue to do so and work hand in hand with the private sector and all our partners and stakeholders to ensure that we realize our vision. Within the last year and a half, Operation Phakisa's primary focus has been on implementing mechanisms to systematically clear constraints and blockages, hampering the development of these projects. We have focused removing legislative uncertainty, lengthy bureaucratic authorization procedures, delays in funding flows, infrastructure challenges, and skills gaps. This means all spheres of government must be involved and must participate in removing obstacles to investment in the country. In the new Interministerial Committee on Investment Promotion, which I chair, we will be working harder to promote this new attitude within government, that we must actively promote our country and must actively remove obstacles to investments by both domestic and international investors. Operation Phakisa is demonstrating that even we do this, that if or when we do this, we see good results. If we remove the obstacles and unblock the blockages. We have also confronted and indeed confirmed in all the oceans economy initiatives that research, technology, and innovation are critical for the success and sustainability. To this end, the South African Marine Research and Exploration Forum was launched early this year. This is an important partnership between the public sector and private sector, extractive industries, represented by the Offshore Petroleum South Africa, to exploit the broader research opportunities presented by offshore oil and gas exploration, to undertake research using private sector vessels in the interests of South Africa. Without the necessary skills base, we will not be able to grow the ocean's economy. We are, therefore, very happy to announce the establishment of the South African International Marine Institute, based at the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University. This has been achieved through a 295 million rand contribution by the Nelson Skills Fund, the National Skills Fund, not by the Nelson Mandela Bay. This institute is responsible for the implementation of all skills development initiatives of the ocean's economy in Operation Phakisa under the leadership of the Department of Higher Education and Training. In addition, 2 new high schools for marine studies have been launched this year. There are the Ngwenyati Senior Secondary School in Ngahuni near Mtanzani. And the George Randall Senior Secondary School near the East London Airport. Classes started with an intake of grade 10 pupils in January. Teachers have been trained, though a refresher course in Belgium and preparation course in the Western Cape. 2 teachers have been employed by the Department of Education to teach marine economics. The department is also in the process of appointing a nautical science specialist. Indeed, a lot of progress is being made towards boosting economic growth and creating jobs in our country. Siyaqhuba. Asidlali. Siphuhlisa ezomnotho ngezindlela eziningi ukuze kwakhiwe amathuba emsebenzi. Compatriots, it is important that opportunities be created for small, medium, and micro enterprises, women, the youth, and people with disabilities in Operation Phakisa. Government will work with all the stakeholders to realize this. There are also numerous initiatives that are at the stage of consultation to take Operation Phakisa Ocean's economy forward. These include the Marine Spatial Planning Bill, Aquaculture Bill, and the declaration of 22 offshore marine protected areas. Indeed, the Operation Phakisa Ocean's economy has shown some significant progress since its official inauguration in July 2014. I'm pleased with the commitment of all the stakeholders in ensuring that we grow the economy and create jobs in order to provide a better life for our people. Let me echo the words of our beloved Madiba, and I quote, "Poverty is not natural. It is man-made, and it can be overcome and eradicated by the actions of human beings. Sometimes it falls on a generation to be great. You can be that great generation." Unquote. Let us commit ourselves to this worthy cause and move South Africa forward together. I thank you.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Iyawusinceda into ke siphinde siqhwabe izandla ezishushu uba kuzophakwa namhlanje. Thank you very much. You may be seated. Kukho abantu